Day 249. 2 Corinthians 8. 1 But we make known to you, brethren, the grace of Jehovah that is given to the assemblies of Macedonia. 2 For in the many trials of their afflictions there was an abundance to their joy, and the depth of their poverty was made to superabound in the wealth of their generosity. 3 For I testify that according to their power and more than their power in the willingness of their soul, for they begged us with much entreaty that they might share in the grace of the ministry of the holy ones. 5 And not according to what we had hoped, but they offered themselves to our Elohim first and also to us in the will of Jehovah. 6 That we would seek from Titus, that as he started, thus he would complete also this grace in you. 7 But just as you abound in everything, in faith, in the word, in knowledge, in all diligence and in our love for you, so also, you shall abound in this grace. 8 I am not commanding simply to give you orders, but I am testing the truth of your love with the diligence of your companions. 9 For you know the grace of our Elohim Yeshua the Messiah, who for your sake became poor, when he was rich, so that you might become rich by his poverty. 10 But to counsel, I advise you this to help you, because from last year you began, not only to purpose, but also to do. 11 Finish now by works that thing which you desire, for as you had eagerness to desire, so you should complete by works from what you have. 12 For if there is a willingness, so it is accepted according to what one has, it is not according to what one does not have. 13 For it is not that others would have relief and you would have distress. 14 But that your abundance might come together at this time with their lack of these things, so that their abundance also of those things would be for your lack, that there would be equality. 15 As it is written, he who increased took no surplus and he who took little was not deprived. 16 But thank Jehovah who gave this concern for you to the heart of Titus. 17 For he accepted our request and because he was greatly concerned, by his desire he went out among you. 18 But we sent our brother with him, whose praise in the gospel is in all the churches. 19 In this way also he was truly chosen from the churches to go out with us in this grace of ministry from us for the glory of Jehovah and for our own encouragement. 20 But we fear in this lest anyone impute to us a flaw in this abundance that is ministered by us. 21 For we are concerned for what is right, not only before Jehovah, but also before men. 22 But we sent our brother with them, who had been proved by us, that he is diligent always in many things, but now he is all the more diligent by the trust of many concerning you. 23 If therefore Titus is my partner and helper among you, and if our other brethren are apostles of the churches of the glory of the Messiah. 24 From now on show the demonstration of your love and our pride in you among them in the presence of all the churches. 2 Corinthians 9. 1 But concerning the ministration of the saints, I make it redundant if I write to you. 2 For I knew the readiness of your minds and because of this I boasted of you to the Macedonians that Achaia was ready from last year and your zeal has excited many. 3 But I sent the brethren lest our boasting would be empty which we boasted about you concerning this matter, that you would be prepared. 4 Lest you come with me to Macedonia and they find you unprepared and we would be ashamed, for we would not say that you would be ashamed by that boasting which we boasted. 5 Therefore it has been taken care of by me to ask of these my brethren to come beforehand to you and to prepare the blessing, which from the first was reported that it should be prepared in this way as a blessing, not to be according to greed. 6 But this, whoever sows frugally also reaps frugally, and whoever sows with bounty shall reap with bounty. 7 Every man according to what he is in his mind and not according to grief or of compulsion, for Jehovah loves the joyful giver. 8 But Jehovah is able to multiply every favor toward you that you may always have whatever is sufficient for you in all things and that you may superabound in every good work. 9 According to what is written, he has dispersed and he has given to the poor, and his righteousness stands for eternity. 10 But he who gives seed to the sower and bread for food, he shall give and multiply your seed and increase the fruit of your righteousness. 11 That you may be enriched in all things with the entire right of an heir, that which perfects thanksgiving to Jehovah by us. 12 Because the labor of this service not only satisfies the want of the saints, but also abounds in much thanksgiving to Jehovah. 13 For because of the experience of this service, they glorify Jehovah that you submitted to the confession of the gospel of the Messiah, and you became partners in your right of heirship with them and with every person. 14 And they offer prayer for you with the love of many because of the abundance of the grace of Jehovah which is upon you. 15 But thank Jehovah for his unspeakable gift. Numbers 16. 1 And Kor the son of Isar the son of Koth the son of Levi, and Dathan and Abiram, sons of Eliab, and On the son of Phaleth the son of Reuben, spoke 2 and rose up before Moses, and 250 men of the sons of Israel, chiefs of the assembly, chosen counselors, and men of renown. 3 They rose up against Moses and Aaron, and said, Let it be enough for you that all the congregation are holy, and Elohim is among them, and why do ye set up yourselves against the congregation of Elohim? 4 And when Moses heard it, he fell on his face. 5 And he spoke to Kor and all his assembly, saying, Jehovah has visited and known those that are his and who are holy, and has brought them to himself, and whom he has chosen for himself, he has brought to himself. 6 This do ye, take to yourselves censers, Kor and all his company. 7 And put fire on them, and put incense on them before Elohim tomorrow, and it shall come to pass that the man whom Elohim has chosen, he shall be holy, let it be enough for you, ye sons of Levi. 8 And Moses said to Kor, Hearken to me, ye sons of Levi. 9 Is it a little thing for you, that the Jehovah of Israel has separated you from the congregation of Israel, and brought you near to himself to minister in the services of the tabernacle of Elohim, and to stand before the tabernacle to minister for them? 10 And he has brought thee near and all thy brethren the sons of Levi with thee, and do ye seek to be priests also? 11 Thus it is with thee and all thy congregation which is gathered together against Jehovah, and who is Aaron, that ye murmur against him. 12 And Moses sent to call Dathan and Abiram sons of Eliab, and they said, We will not go up. 13 Is it a little thing that thou hast brought us up to a land flowing with milk and honey, to kill us in the wilderness, and that thou altogether rulest over us? 14 Thou art a prince, and hast thou brought us into a land flowing with milk and honey, and hast thou given us an inheritance of land and vineyards. Wouldest thou have put out the eyes of those men? We will not go up. 15 And Moses was exceeding indignant, and said to Elohim, Do thou take no heed to their sacrifice, I have not taken away the desire of any one of them, neither have I hurt any one of them. 16 And Moses said to Kor, Sanctify thy company, and be ready before Elohim, thou and Aaron and they, tomorrow. 17 And take each man his censer, and ye shall put incense upon them, and shall bring each one his censer before Elohim, 250 censers, and thou and Aaron shall bring each his censer. 18 And each man took his censer, and they put on them fire, and laid incense on them, and Moses and Aaron stood by the doors of the tabernacle of witness. 19 And Kor raised up against them all his company by the door of the tabernacle of witness, and the glory of Elohim appeared to all the congregation. 20 And Elohim spoke to Moses and Aaron, saying, 21 Separate yourselves from the midst of this congregation, and I will consume them at once. 22 And they fell on their faces, and said, O Jehovah, the Jehovah of spirits and of all flesh, if one man has sinned, shall the wrath of Elohim be upon the whole congregation. 23 And Elohim spoke to Moses, saying, 24 Speak to the congregation, saying, Depart from the company of Kor round about. 25 And Moses rose up and went to Dathan and Abiram, and all the elders of Israel went with him. 26 And he spoke to the congregation, saying, Separate yourselves from the tents of these stubborn men, and touch nothing that belongs to them, lest ye be consumed with them in all their sin. 27 And they stood aloof from the tent of Kor round about, and Dathan and Abiram went forth and stood by the doors of their tents, and their wives and their children and their store. 28 And Moses said, Hereby shall ye know that Elohim has sent me to perform all these works, that I have not done them of myself. 29 If these men shall die according to the death of all men, if also their visitation shall be according to the visitation of all men, then Elohim has not sent me. 30 But if Elohim shall show by a wonder, and the earth shall open her mouth and swallow them up, and their houses, and their tents, and all that belongs to them, and they shall go down alive into Hades, then ye shall know that these men have provoked Elohim. 31 And when he ceased speaking all these words, the ground clave asunder beneath them. 32 And the ground opened, and swallowed them up, and their houses, and all the men that were with Kor, and their cattle. 33 And they went down and all that they had, alive into Hades, and the ground covered them, and they perished from the midst of the congregation. 34 And all Israel round about them fled from the sound of them, for they said, Lest the earth swallow us up also. 35 And fire went forth from Elohim, and devoured the 250 men that offered incense. 36 And Elohim said to Moses, 37 And to Eleazar the son of Aaron the priest, take up the brazen censers out of the midst of the men that have been burnt, and scatter the strange fire yonder, for they have sanctified the censers 38 of these sinners against their own souls, and do thou make them beaten plates a covering to the altar, because they were brought before Elohim and hallowed, and they became a sign to the children of Israel. 39 And Eleazar the son of Aaron the priest took the brazen censers, which the men who had been burnt brought near, and they put them as a covering on the altar, 40 A memorial to the children of Israel that no stranger might draw nigh, who is not of the seed of Aaron, to offer incense before Elohim, so he shall not be as Kor and as they that conspired with him, as Elohim spoke to him by the hand of Moses. 41 And the children of Israel murmured the next day against Moses and Aaron, saying, Ye have killed the people of Elohim. 42 And it came to pass when the congregation combined against Moses and Aaron, that they ran impetuously to the tabernacle of witness, and the cloud covered it, and the glory of Elohim appeared. 43 And Moses and Aaron went in front of the tabernacle of witness. 44 And Elohim spoke to Moses and Aaron, saying, 45 Depart out of the midst of this congregation, and I will consume them at once, and they fell upon their faces. 46 And Moses said to Aaron, Take a censer, and put on it fire from the altar, and put incense on it, and carry it away quickly into the camp, and make atonement for them, for wrath is gone forth from the presence of Elohim, it has begun to destroy the people. 47 And Aaron took as Moses spoke to him, and ran among the congregation, for already the plague had begun among the people, and he put on incense, and made an atonement for the people. 48 And he stood between the dead and the living, and the plague ceased. 49 And they that died in the plague were 14,700, besides those that died on account of Kor. 50 And Aaron returned to Moses to the door of the tabernacle of witness, and the plague ceased. Jeremiah 22. 1 Thus saith Elohim, Go thou, and go down to the house of the king of Judah, and thou shalt speak there this word. 2 And thou shalt say, Hear the word of Elohim, O king of Judah, that sittest on the throne of David, thou, and thy house, and thy people, and they that go in at these gates. 3 Thus saith Elohim, Execute ye judgment and justice, and rescue the spoiled out of the hand of him that wrongs him, and oppress not the stranger, and orphan, and widow, and sin not, and shed no innocent blood in this place. 4 For if ye will indeed perform this word, then shall there enter in by the gates of this house kings sitting upon the throne of David, and riding on chariots and horses, they, and their servants, and their people. 5 But if ye will not perform these words, by myself have I sworn, saith Elohim, that this house shall be brought to desolation. 6 For thus saith Elohim concerning the house of the king of Judah, Thou art Galaad to me, and the head of Libanus, yet surely I will make thee a desert, even cities that shall not be inhabited. 7 And I will bring upon thee a destroying man, and his axe, and they shall cut down thy choice cedars, and cast them into the fire. 8 And nations shall pass through this city, and each shall say to his neighbor, Why has Elohim done thus to this great city? 9 And they shall say because they forsook the covenant of Elohim their Jehovah, and worshipped strange gods, and served them. 10 Weep not for the dead, nor lament for him, weep bitterly for him that goes away, for he shall return no more, nor see his native land. 11 For thus saith Elohim concerning Selam the son of Hoseas, who reigns in the place of Hoseas his father, who has gone forth out of this place, he shall not return thither any more. 12 But in that place whither I have carried him captive, there shall he die, and shall see this land no more. 13 He that builds his house not with justice, and his upper chambers not with judgment, who works by means of his neighbor for nothing, and will by no means give him his reward. 14 Thou hast built for thyself a well-proportioned house, airy chambers, fitted with windows, and wainscoted with cedar, and painted with vermilion. 15 Shalt thou reign, because thou art provoked with thy father Achaz. They shall not eat, and they shall not drink, it is better for thee to execute judgment and justice. 16 They understood not, they judged not the cause of the afflicted, nor the cause of the poor, is not this thy not knowing me? Saith Elohim. 17 Behold, thine eyes are not good, nor thine heart, but they go after thy covetousness, and after the innocent blood to shed it, and after acts of injustice and slaughter, to commit them. 18 Therefore thus saith Elohim concerning Joachim son of Hoseas, king of Judah, even concerning this man, they shall not bewail him, saying, Ah brother. Neither shall they at all weep for him, saying, Alas Elohim. 19 He shall be buried with the burial of an ass, he shall be dragged roughly along and cast outside the gate of Jerusalem. 20 Go up to Libanus, and cry, and utter thy voice to Basan, and cry aloud to the extremity of the sea, for all thy lovers are destroyed. 21 I spoke to thee on occasion of thy trespass, but thou saidst, I will not hearken. This has been thy way from thy youth, thou hast not hearkened to my voice. 22 The wind shall tend all thy shepherds, and thy lovers shall go into captivity, for then shalt thou be ashamed and disgraced because of all thy lovers. 23 O thou that dwellest in Libanus, making thy nest in the cedars, thou shalt groan heavily, when pangs as of a travailing woman are come upon thee. 24 As I lived, saith Elohim, though Jeconiah son of Joachim king of Judah were indeed the seal upon my right hand, thence would I pluck thee. 25 And I will deliver thee into the hands of them that seek thy life, before whom thou art afraid, into the hands of the Chaldeans. 26 And I will cast forth thee, and thy mother that bore thee, into a land where thou wast not born, and there ye shall die. 27 But they shall by no means return to the land which they long for in their souls. 28 Jeconiah is dishonored as a good-for-nothing vessel, for he is thrown out and cast forth into a land which he knew not. 29 Land, hear the word of Elohim. 30 Write ye this man an outcast, for there shall none of his seed at all grow up to sit on the throne of David, or as a prince yet in Judah. Jeremiah 23. 1 Woe to the shepherds that destroy and scatter the sheep of their pasture. 2 Therefore thus saith Elohim against them that tend my people, ye have scattered my sheep, and driven them out, and ye have not visited them, behold, I will take vengeance upon you according to your evil practices. 3 And I will gather in the remnant of my people in every land, whither I have driven them out, and will set them in their pasture, and they shall increase and be multiplied. 4 And I will raise up shepherds to them, who shall feed them, and they shall fear no more, nor be alarmed, saith Elohim. 5 Behold, the days come, saith Elohim, when I will raise up to David a righteous branch, and a king shall reign and understand, and shall execute judgment and righteousness on the earth. 6 In his days both Judah shall be saved, and Israel shall dwell securely, and this is his name, which Elohim shall call him, Josdik among the prophets. 7 Therefore, behold, the days come, saith Elohim, when they shall no more say, Elohim lives, who brought up the house of Israel out of the land of Egypt. 8 But Elohim lives, who has gathered the whole seed of Israel from the north land, and from all the countries whither he had driven them out, and has restored them into their own land. 9 My heart is broken within me, all my bones are shaken, I am become as a broken down man, and as a man overcome with wine, because of Elohim, and because of the excellence of his glory. 10 For because of these things the land mourns, the pastures of the wilderness are dried up, and their course is become evil, and so also their strength. 11 For priest and prophet are defiled, and I have seen their iniquities in my house. 12 Therefore let their way be to them slippery and dark, and they shall be tripped up and fall in it, for I will bring evils upon them, in the year of their visitation. 13 And in the prophets of Samaria I have seen lawless deeds, they prophesied by Baal, and led my people Israel astray. 14 Also in the prophets of Jerusalem I have seen horrible things, as they committed adultery, and walked in lies, and strengthened the hands of many, that they should not return each from his evil way, they are all become to me as Sodom, and the inhabitants thereof as Gomorrah. 15 Therefore thus saith Elohim, Behold, I will feed them with pain, and give them bitter water to drink, for from the prophets of Jerusalem has defilement gone forth into all the land. 16 Thus saith Elohim Almighty, Hearken not to the words of the prophets, for they frame a vain vision for themselves, they speak from their own heart, and not from the mouth of Elohim. 17 They say to them that reject the word of Elohim, There shall be peace to you, and to all that walk after their own lusts, and to everyone that walks in the error of his heart, they have said, No evil shall come upon thee. 18 For who has stood in the counsel of Elohim, and seen his word? Who has hearkened, and heard? 19 Behold, there is an earthquake from Elohim, and anger proceeds to a convulsion, it shall come violently upon the ungodly. 20 And Elohim's wrath shall return no more, until he have accomplished it, and until he have established it, according to the purpose of his heart, at the end of the days they shall understand it. 21 I sent not the prophets, yet they ran, neither spoke I to them, yet they prophesied. 22 But if they had stood in my counsel, and if they had hearkened to my words, then would they have turned my people from their evil practices. 23 I am Jehovah nigh at hand, saith Elohim, and not Jehovah afar off. 24 Shall any one hide himself in secret places, and I not see him? Do I not fill heaven and earth? Saith Elohim. 25 I have heard what the prophets say, what they prophesy in my name, saying falsely, I have seen a night vision. 26 How long shall these things be in the heart of the prophets that prophesy lies, when they prophesy the purposes of their own heart? 27 Who devise that men may forget my law by their dreams, which they have told every one to his neighbor, as their fathers forgot my name in the worship of Baal. 28 The prophet who has a dream, let him tell his dream, and he in whom is my word spoken to him, let him tell my word truly, what is the chaff to the corn? So are my words, saith Elohim. 29 Behold, are not my words as fire, saith Elohim, and as an axe cutting the rock. 30 Behold, I am therefore against the prophets, saith Elohim Yehovah, that steal my words every one from his neighbor. 31 Behold, I am against the prophets that put forth prophecies of mere words, and slumber their sleep. 32 Therefore, behold, I am against the prophets that prophesy false dreams, and have not told them truly, and have caused my people to err by their lies, and by their errors, yet I sent them not, and commanded them not, therefore, they shall not profit this people at all. 33 And if this people, or the priest, or the prophet, should ask, What is the burden of Elohim? Then thou shalt say to them, Ye are the burden, and I will dash you down, saith Elohim. 34 Is for the prophet, and the priests, and the people, who shall say, The burden of Elohim, I will even take vengeance on that man, and on his house. 35 Thus shall ye say every one to his neighbor, and every one to his brother, What has Elohim answered? And, What has Elohim said? 36 And do ye name no more the burden of Elohim, for his own word shall be a man's burden. 37 But wherefore, say ye, has Elohim our Yehovah spoken? 38 Therefore thus saith Elohim our Yehovah, because ye have spoken this word, the burden of Elohim, and I sent to you, saying, Ye shall not say, the burden of Elohim. 39 Therefore, behold, I will seize, and dash down you and the city which I gave to you and your fathers. 40 And I will bring upon you an everlasting reproach, an everlasting disgrace, which shall not be forgotten. Psalms 144. 1a Psalm of David concerning Goliad. Blessed be Elohim my Yehovah, who instructs my hands for battle, and my fingers for war. 2 My mercy, and my refuge, my helper, and my deliverer, my protector, in whom I have trusted, who subdues my people under me. 3 Elohim, what is man, that thou art made known to him? Or the son of man, that thou takest account of him? 4 Man is like to vanity, his days pass as a shadow. 5 O Elohim, bow thy heavens, and come down, touch the mountains, and they shall smoke. 6 Send lightning, and thou shalt scatter them, send forth thine arrows, and thou shalt discomfit them. 7 Send forth thine hand from on high, rescue me, and deliver me out of great waters, out of the hand of strange children. 8 Whose mouth has spoken vanity, and their right hand is a right hand of iniquity. 9 O Yehovah, I will sing a new song to thee, I will play to thee on a psaltery of 10 strings. 10 Even to him who gives salvation to kings, who redeems his servant David from the hurtful sword. 11 Deliver me, and rescue me from the hand of strange children, whose mouth has spoken vanity, and their right hand is a right hand of iniquity. 12 Whose children are as plants, strengthened in their youth, their daughters are beautiful, sumptuously adorned after the similitude of a temple. 13 Their garners are full, and bursting with one kind of store after another, their sheep are prolific, multiplying in their streets. 14 Their oxen are fat, there is no falling down of a hedge, nor going out, nor cry in their folds. 15 Men bless the people to whom this lot belongs, but blessed is the people whose Yehovah is Elohim.